What's going on, Rockstar? It's your boy Samson X here. Right, now today we're going to be discussing something that I've had on my hit list for quite a while. Today we're going to be discussing a man who's probably almost single-handedly contributed to the cringy culture we have today. Now it's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Philip McGraw, otherwise known as Dr. Phil, who's had his talk show since 2002. Well, at least from what I could find on Google. Now sometimes Dr. Phil has aired here in the UK as well as the States, which he's from. And if you actually sit down and think about it, this man, right, Dr. Phil, has pretty much enabled some of the most cringy people to ever walk the planet. Right, I'm not wrong, am I? Right, you don't believe me? Right, okay, so since I'm a man of evidence, right, I'm going to show you concrete evidence of the fact that I think, in my humble opinion, Dr. Phil's show needs to be cancelled. Right, so today I've gathered some of the most infamous clips that some of you are probably all familiar with from Dr. Phil's show. That just goes to show that he enables psychopaths. So without further ado, let's get it. Right, now this first clip, some of you may not have seen it, but I think some of you are quite familiar with this first clip. And it's teen claims she's 9 months pregnant with baby Jesus.
Lift up your shirt just a little bit. This is my first ultrasound.
Well, joining us now is Dr. Travis Stork. You asked for an ultrasound, and how did that go? Was the technician nice to you? And
it was really nice. Like that was my first ultrasound, and It was kind of weird. Like she was pressing really hard and stuff, and I could feel him kick and stuff, but it was kind of weird.
Right.
The gel was really cold.
This morning was when the ultrasound was performed on Haley. Dr. Phil, the most notable thing on this ultrasound isn't what we see, it's what we don't see. The area exactly where you would expect to see the pregnancy, and there is no baby. And the most notable thing, again, if you compare this, and this is scanning all across your abdomen and your pelvis, looking everywhere, and if you look there, look with me, it is scanning every possible area where your baby would be, and there's no baby. And if you show this, Dr. Phil, a still image of Haley's next to what an ultrasound would look like this far along, at 8.5 months, the baby is almost fully developed. That is what an ultrasound would look like on the right-hand side up there. Again, you can see the head of the baby, you can see the body of the baby, but in your ultrasound, there's no baby. There's absolutely no way Haley's giving birth in 9 days.
Yeah, I don't think we needed a rocket scientist to tell us that this young lady here is not, indeed, pregnant with baby Jesus. Hell, someone as stupid as fucking Trisha Paytas or something could tell you that she's not pregnant with baby. I cannot believe this is coming out of my mouth, right? Now, the way I think about it is, I don't know if anyone else sees it like this, but the way I see it is that Dr. Phil had taken this young lady who's clearly got some form of mental issues, right? Because who in their right mind is going to tell you they're pregnant with the fucking baby Jesus? What, so God fucked you? Huh? God bust a nut inside you and now you're pregnant with baby Jesus? I mean, come on, we didn't need a scientist or a doctor to tell us that. We didn't even need a baby to tell us that. Do you know what I mean? Right, so like I say, the way I see it is that Dr. Phil has taken this young lady who's clearly suffering with some sort of mental delusion or mental illness, right, and kind of exploited the issue just for good television. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. And depending on how sick your mind is, or how much you feed into dark humor or not, that's not good, is it? Right. That's exploitative, do you know what I mean? Just in my humble opinion, it's a little bit messed up. You see where I'm coming from? Now do you see why I say Dr. Phil needs to be cancelled? Right? Because he's enabling these fucking mental fucktards, right? And there's impressionable children watching the TV, watching this stuff. And now they think they can be pregnant with the baby Jesus too. Do you see the problem now? Right, moving on. Right, now this next clip, I'm sure everyone knows by now, and because it went viral, do you know what I mean? And if you don't, it's basically this viral video star says he doesn't want to talk to his family because they're quote unquote irrelevant, right? And I'm sure you remember it just by this kid. I mean, I swear to fucking God, look at this kid's face, man. I swear to God, he has the most punchable face on planet Earth. Oh, every time! I just want to punch it. Oh, his face is pissing me off, man.
Do you think that this is modeling bad behavior for like really young people?
It's easy to go viral. You just have to make sure you're not going to get arrested.
And we're not like telling other people to do it.
You say you want to inspire LGBTQ kids, right? Yeah. And you want to inspire them how?
Well, basically, I want to build the platform first, and I'll kind of do anything it takes to get there. But I just want to show people that there is someone out there like them, and you can kind of be crazy and still be LGBTQ and a good person.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do y'all's families think about you doing these stunts, these pranks?
Personally, mine don't love it, but it's not going to stop me because it's getting me somewhere, obviously.
Right. How about you?
I mean, I don't talk to my family.
Why not?
They're irrelevant.
They're irrelevant?
None of them have followers. If they got followers or got rich, I'd probably talk to them again.
Now, hang on a minute. Did you just say I don't talk to my family because they don't have followers?
If they had followers, they'd be here right now.
You talking about your mother?
I mean, my mom has more followers than my sister.
Okay, yeah, just so this is the world we live in where someone can actually think that just because their family has no followers, it has no relevance. Like, I'm lost for words, man. I know I'm very, very, very late to the party on this video, right? Because I didn't have my YouTube channel back then when this come out. However, I have to say something, right? I feel like I should say something. This fucking Spurg Lord actually thinks just because his family doesn't have as much followers as him that he should cut them off, right? So you're not gonna go and ask your grandma how the cat's doing? Do you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man.
It's your mother. What difference she make? What do you care if she has followers or not? It's your mother.
Can anyone tell me like what I would talk to my mom about if she's not going to be making me relevant?
Yeah, like, hi, Mom.
Now I have a career and I'm famous. Like, that's what happens when you get famous. You cut people off.
Now, to all the mothers out there, right, and all the women that have children and are currently having children, just imagine something. I want you to imagine something, right? Now, imagine you've just taken a pregnancy test, right, to find out that you're pregnant. And a couple of weeks down the line, you start experiencing things like morning sickness. And, you know, that little extra 5 minutes you had in bed is now cut short because you have to keep running to the toilet to be sick and all that horrible shit. And then a couple more months down the line, you're getting cravings for crazy shit, like, I don't know, Nutella and gherkins or something like that. And then a couple more months down the line, you start getting swollen feet, your back's killing you because there's literal weight dragging your stomach down and you're just tired. You can't walk up the stairs properly. You're going through all this pain. Then comes the time you're ready to pop. You're laying on the bed, in labour, in the most excruciating pain you've ever felt in your life, right? Pushing this baby out with all your might, going Super Saiyan, just pushing and pushing and pushing. You got piles, right? And you're just in so much pain, and you squeeze this baby out, and the pain's kind of subsided. Then you're just sore for days, and then you raise this child for 18 years, constant just stress, sleepless nights, running around after this bad child, making sure they see the light, they behave themselves and they don't get into any trouble, only for them to reach the age of 20 and turn around to you because you don't have enough followers on Twitter or Instagram and tell you that you're irrelevant. Just imagine that, right? Imagine that. Imagine you were the one who brought this person into the world and could very easily take them out, only for them to turn around and tell you, my mother, ain't shit. Can you even imagine that? Right? Because I can't even come close to imagining that, right? I'm just thinking about the royal beating my mother would give me if I ever told her anything like that. Oh, I'm talking of beatings. Oh, this kid's face! Oh, every time! Now you see what I mean about the very fact that Philip McGraw, aka Dr. Phil, is actually enabling these fucking dickheads to enter our society, right? Like I say, kids are gonna watch this shit and think just because their mother doesn't have any followers that they're irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? Right? And there's a lot more people disturbingly starting to think like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? And it's almost single-handedly at the hands of Dr. Phil. You see what I'm saying? If not, let's move on. Right now, I think this last clip I'm about to show you is probably what made me lose all respect for Dr. Phil, to be honest with you. I don't really have that much respect for him anyway, because I was indifferent. But now, I lost all respect for him because of this. Without further ado, take a look at this.
He says that she attacked with football moves and tackles and punched, kicked in the face, had a chair that was swung at him from across the room. His mouth was cut up, bloody nose and scratches on his face, neck, and chest. So you say she has come at you, she has attacked you, and that oftentimes you have done what you have done purely in defense.
Yes, that incident, definitely.
I don't care what she does. If she starts punching you, then you turn around and walk away. If she starts...
Dr. Phil, are you telling me you're that much of a simp that you think it's okay for men to put up with this kind of abuse? Do you know what I mean? And everyone else in the audience is actually sitting there applauding these kind of goings-ons. You see what I'm saying? And the reason for that is because you lot have got nothing else better to do. Because you lot are sitting there in the audience. It's the middle of the fucking day, right, for a kickoff. Like, and you're sitting there clapping this shit up like it's alright. Do you know what I mean? And you see what I mean about him enabling a bunch of bullshit, right? No normal person will sit there and tell the man to actually, do you know what I mean? Actually put up with this kind of nonsense. Right, there's a lot more of this video to go, so I'm gonna let it play, and I've got a lot more of it to riff on. So let's carry on.
If she starts following you, then you walk faster. If she starts chasing you, then you outrun her. If you have to, you get behind the door. But you don't ever, never, ever put your hands on a woman in anger, ever. And somehow or another, you think that's funny somehow? Tell me what's funny about that. You just don't put your hands on a woman in anger. And anybody that does is a chicken coward. No, you're not done. No, let me tell you.
I'm done.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you want to be done, if you want to walk out of here, then you can walk straight into the LAPD, my friend.
You know, I think the thing that sickens me the most about this clip, every single time I see it, the thing that sickens me the most is that the fact that Dr. Phil actually makes this man to be the villain. Do you see what I'm saying? He makes him out to be the villain. Like, when this man's actually suffering, he's going through something, and the one thing you do is actually turn around and treat him like the bad guy. You see what I mean? Right, now, I'm not fucking, don't you fucking twist my words up, right? Now, I'm not saying to go out there and go hit women, right, or anything, but if someone fucking hits you, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter whether you fuck them or not, doesn't matter if it's your mama, if it's your daddy, if it's your cousin, if it's your crazy auntie Fifi, right? If they throw a fist at you, throw a fist back. Simple as that. Or better still, right? Us men, and you ladies, we keep our hands to ourselves. How about that, right? We keep our hands to ourselves unless somebody puts hands on us and we have to defend ourselves. Can't we just do that? Right? You know, that's wishful thinking. That's not the world we live in, is it? There's always going to be abusers out there. It's just the very fact that Dr. Phil panders to the lowest common denominator all the time, and he thinks because if you kind of take this moral high ground and act like men and the bad guy or something, I don't know what he's trying to get out of it. I don't know, probably bored housewife views or something like that. He thinks if he takes that road, then he's going to be the good guy. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? And the fact that he exploits people for views all the time, right? If you look at his show, it's quite exploitative. Do you see what I'm saying? He's exploiting people for views, right? And that's why he does it. Because somehow it makes good TV. And I can't deny that. Because his show's successful. You see what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game. You see what I'm saying? And you can't really hate the game because the game ain't gonna fall. Now some of you might be thinking, well, Samson X, you do a similar thing too. Well, no, the very difference between me and him is that the fact that the people I talk about, right, they've already dug their own grave by saying something stupid, and I'm here to call it out, right? They've already made their bed, now they have to lie in it. Whereas the thing with Dr. Phil, he actually goes out of his way to contact these people to come on his show to then talk about their problems, which should have stayed behind closed doors. Do you see what I'm seeing? Now do you see the problem with this show? And that's why I think, in my opinion, the Dr. Phil show needs to be cancelled. Right, now I've said all I've got to say on it, to be honest with you. I ain't really got anything else to say. And with that, it's a wrap. So go ahead and follow my Instagram. Anything kooky to send me, go ahead and slide into the DMs. Go ahead and follow your boy on TikTok at the same name. Go watch my funny little shorts. Any serious inquiries, go ahead and hit on my email, which you can find linked down below. And if you want to tell me to go fuck myself or kill myself, put it down below in the comment section. That's what it's there for. And until next time, hang loose.
I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.